Hello gamers, welcome to the amazing world of toxic MIKAELA REID. Even if most of my teammates in games were the equivalent to a primate, I still had fun bullying your little brother that just booted up the game and is probably still playing PewDiePie's Tuber Simulator on his brand new iPhone 14 Max Pro. Without a further ado, let's jump right into the bombastic gameplay. I proceed to spawn in the map that resembles the place where my busted alcoholic uncle has a house. Anyways, 2 megs and a kneecap are in this Fortnite lobby. I proceed to instantly go towards the gen that's hidden in the jungle gym. On my way there I try my best to burn out this meg's insides with my alpha flashlight. While I do the Bob the Builder activity, this meg cannot figure out for the life of her how to use the W key and that 1% of her brain that still works. Exactly 14 seconds later, this busted up Roger Rabbit wannabe comes and ruining our frat party trying to tickle my Tibson. I managed to troll Bugs Bunny by faking a vault, but I think she telepathically heard all of my insults and gets me on the safest fucking pallet. But I think partially the reason behind it is because I have the fucking IQ of a toad. I then proceed to flashbang the naughty crazy Russian hacker for no other reason than I do not feel any remorse in making people's lives miserable. A second later I started to feel a bit bad because I thought she was uninstalling the game. But nope, just her keyboard disconnected. I took the hint from Meg that she took a big liking to the Easter Bunny, so I left them to do their thing, only to see moments later Meg running back to me in fear and wanting weird sensory therapy from me. I proceed to do just that, not because I'm a decent human being but because I need my stacks. Shortly after Meg numero dos jump scares me to help her traumatized little sister Megan. I thank them for patching me up instead of leaving me to get whatever disease is floating around here, aka rabies. Right after that I go back to fixing the abandoned gen. Around the time it's almost done I figure out where my favorite DeviantArt artist has been all game. Probably drawing solicit pictures of furries on that gen over there. After I pop the gen I run into my 2 favorite sisters or twins, it doesn't really fucking matter, running in circles. They somehow go anywhere I do, like fucking Cosmo and Wanda. We run straight into my favorite Looney Tunes character, and as I try to get a picture with her, Meg disturbs the fucking peace and somehow manages to get stuck and waste a pallet as well. And as I stare in pure awe at the sight, I feel a fat fucking hatchet across the top of my head. Oh well, at least that made Meg rethink her life choices and leave, hopefully to go fix a gen, but that's never the case. I proceed to pace around back and forth like a paranoid schizophrenic, while Pyrocynical's pet bunny Blue tries to violently assault me and most likely turn me into a 5-star steak. Not going too well for her with that Ohio aim.
What the hell?
I continue looping this Minecraft cobblestone base that was built by the ancient Romans. Right after, my teammate's mother busts in and tells them that it's past their bedtime and decides to disconnect, taking us all to our doom, even if all they did was fix one fucking gen. Moments later I get stuck on this Fortnite wall because apparently I have the eyesight of a mole. I got a tad bit too bored with the scenery. On my way to the other loop, Roger Rabbit tries her best to get an MLG shot on me with her AWP, but it doesn't go too well for her. I decided to camp the pallet because I wanted to wipe my lubed up hand that I had on my mouse, because for some fucking reason I thought it would be a great idea to use hand lotion before the match. For some reason she decided to scope out the area and snipe a hay bale. But I thought it would be entertaining to connect this loop to the jungle gym right next to it, but somehow she instantly lost me. Moments later I see her pop up behind me like Slender Man trying to steal the baguette on my head. While I run to the pallet I get stuck on a hay bale like a horse trying to get its daily nutrients. She decides to swing at the air, and then I run straight into Pippi Longstocking doing whatever she's doing, and decide to say hi, trying my best to be a decent human being. I take her running in circles and not taking a hit, as my cue to get downed and let her get the flashlight safe. But apparently, she decided to shine at her tits and not help me. I mean, I wouldn't either, but you know I'd still appreciate it. Moments later after I get hooked, Meg decides to become a box, but that works out for her and she gets the save on me. I rush to the gen right next to where I got hooked because finally the killer decided to get back at Darla for assaulting Nemo in the movie. Quickly me and Meg pop the gen. Right after I assault Meg's personal space trying to get her attention for a solid few seconds to get a quick tickle until she finally gets the message. While I'm getting healed, the other ginger in the team gets the last gen done and I run straight to the exit gate trying to bust it down like a door like a cop in a crack house to get a sample of Walter's blue stuff. Tight. I get a view of Meg looking at this random fucking barrel like it's the love of her life. I decide to say bye-bye to both of them and not bother anymore with this match and get the dub. So I can go back to looking at Ryan Gosling edits for 5 hours straight and sending them to the boys group chat saying that that's literally me. My favorite map, Eastern Europe. I really think Behavior should add a League of Legends map with Teemo as the killer. Maybe the game would actually be scary. Anyways, I follow Claudette Schmurrell to the middle gen, actually hoping to get it fixed for once. seconds after I hear Jake Paul bringing in a zesty version of the cones from Cars to our slum. So I boost into the action thinking Illuminati head is gonna follow me. Moments later he decides that his mommy issues are too much, and doesn't commit to me and leaves heartbroken and crying, because I wanted to bang his head with a plank of wood. So I decide to go to the untouched gen behind me. While I'm fixing I spot this delicious looking totem behind me, but I decide to not give in to my humanly desires and leave it alone for now. Then bodybuilder equilateral triangle comes in. He decided it's time for revenge because I broke his heart and kicked his dog, instead of marrying him and having deformed kids with him, that we could donate to the slaughter. I wasn't really feeling it in the moment, and just wanted to fantasize about my dull totem, but he gets me with his great and mighty knife, that he used to make barbecue bacon burgers before. I somehow manage dodge his mix of sweet chili sauce and feet fungus, and decide to snipe him with my sriracha sauce, but apparently this man is immune to any of that, and still somehow manages to convince me to come to his busted, fucked up barbecue party. He leaves me to marinate on the ground for a second, to get more seasoning, and proceeds to take me to the nearest meat hook to probably chill there for the rest of the match. Then the legend clarinet Schmurrell busts in, taking me off in his terror radius. Then I also see cracked out Da Vinci busting into our who's gonna reach the corner of the map first. I then see my favorite gym rat approaching our private pay to enter group chat, thinking that he's coming with a peace offering, only to see him approach my favorite artist with the same garbage offering to his nasty ass fucked up looking barbecue party. But the legend Nia decides to tell him the truth, which is that he's fucking weird and that he smells like paint, only for him to become a little crybaby like he is and break her little toe for being honest. I then go to Nice to tell her that she's the real top G and nobody can compare to her Sigma moves, but honestly I just want to get healed, also I need my stacks, lol. But of course that wouldn't be the case because of his nosy tombstone ass. I lose Nia in the process, so I just decided to go for the clarinet that's marinating on that hook. I reassure Claudette that this is all a dream and that she's delusional. JK. I heal her and let her go to do her Schmurrell mushroom picking things. From this moment, I make it my life goal to go commission furry art from Nia and go for the rescue, like we are in a Superman movie. When I eventually pull up with my Lamborghini I reassure her that we are still going to that modern art museum in Ireland that I promised her, only to see my least favorite shape already slashing my tires and making my girl into sushi. I try my best to not let this shitter out of my sight, so I can get enough time for my other brainless teammates, to get her up. He finally decides to join my game of cat and mouse only for me to pre-drop this pallet and flashbang him with those trust issues he's been running away from all game. He misses me on his first vault, which I think hurts his feelings, so he decides to get back at me and pick up my red-haired date, like a little kid that's picking up a hamster. I try my best to get his attention by pissing him off, with everything I have, only for me to start wondering, where the fuck are my other two teammates that haven't fixed a gen in God knows how long, that were supposed to be helping this Nia while he was trying to tickle my left forearm. Only for me to realize that Claudette has been healing Jake Paul all this time. That hasn't been hooked once, and the last time I saw him he was crouching around the map. But the Egyptian pyramids gets mad and he decides to camp my favorite teammate because he's a little crybaby and she has better style than him. Then Schmurrell proceeds to feel the weight on her soul for letting Nia get hooked. She decides to sacrifice her life and try and take her off. I bust in trying to take a hit for at least one of them. I follow the Claudette, hoping he will give me a second of his time, to assault me with his weapon, but that doesn't happen. But you know what else doesn't happen? Claudette vaulting or knowing how to plop down a plank of wood on his fat ass sharp head. Anyways I go for a little stroll with both of them knowing the exact same campy shit is going to happen to her. Then I proceed to just hold the W key, knowing damn well if he would commit, he would get an easy hit on me, but of course he doesn't. So I run back to the main event and go into my favorite rotten house, where he proceeds to do his 5-star technique, which is to just look through the window at my fat ass head, and leave. He gets bored with camping the Claudette and leaves, so I get an easy unhook on her, only for her to proceed to do this shit. Fuck you, and your blue balls challenge. In the meantime my favorite teammate is dead on hook, which makes the left side of my brain shrink even more, because now I'm stuck with two dipshits. One of them is probably crouching in the corner of the map and the other is self-healing. Because of this I decide to finally get onto a gen, only to run into the pinecone shitter, at the worst possible place. All the resources I have are a shitty broken down school bus, so I decide to head for the place where the middle gen is and take the hit. For a few seconds I try and guess what the fuck will happen, because this fucker plays this game backwards most of the time. He finally decides to chase me, where I then proceed to loop him. He somehow misses his barbecue chili attack. Because of that he gets mad and decides to take his anger out on this broken down car. hit it and then blame it for all the bad things that have happened to him this match. You okay, bud? I try my best to connect this loop to the jungle gym, but his anger takes over his body and he decides that kicking random objects helps him calm down. Seconds later he mixes up the Jake with one of the broken down cars and breaks his knees. I try my best to salvage the situation by getting him to chase me so I can use my based balanced landing. I hit this bus an MLG juke on the cone shitter, and then proceed to invite him for grandma's caramel cookies in her house right over there, only moments later to hit him with a fat fucking pallet, and then I hit him with that game journalist aim and I start to shine my flashlight at his tits.
Oh my god, bro. Oh,
At this point I meet up with the Claudette at the middle gen only for me to instantly turn my heel and boost the fuck out of here, because I don't want to have any of this anymore and need to at least get healed. Skip forward a little bit. I am back on the same gen we were trying to fix moments ago, only for me to see Claudie coming up to the same gen. So I take it as my moment to get healed, only for this degeneracy to happen for a solid few seconds and for her to go save her pre-made fucking friend Jake Penis. This interaction genuinely makes me want to punch a hole through my monitor. Not just that, it makes me lose any sort of logical part of the brain that I still somehow had after playing this game. I then get downed at this pallet by a fucking millimeter, but honestly all I needed right now is to be hung like a rag doll so I can rethink my life choices, and how much I hate Dead by Daylight. Hey, but you know what? Maybe this all wouldn't have happened if we just got healed, only for them to pop the last gen the exact second I get hooked, and then they all get their nipples twisted by the I eat shit perk aka node. But the Red Illuminati decides he really needs that 4K so he could flex on his parents that he at least achieved something. So he goes for my ginger ass, and I get the last chase with him in a dead-end zone with no pallets, but hey, at least I got windows right? Then we run around this bus like the happy family that we are. While all of this is happening, I'm admiring the inside of the bus. Has very stylish wallpaper. Me likey. I go to this jungle gym knowing damn well I'm fucked either way, and vault the window, looking in pure pain at the hex totem. Only seconds later for me to hit this fat ass juke. Well, I'm dead here, RIP bozo. Oh well, that was fun. But on a serious note, this killer was fucking great, GG's. But fuck my teammates, they can game end themselves. Anyways, hope you enjoyed watching me flame everybody and everything. Keep in mind this is all for entertainment purposes, so don't take it too much to heart. And hey, if you spot yourself, be sure to let me know. Well, till next time, leave me the fuck alone.